So this is not scripted or anything, obviously, you'll come to find, but I'm making this video while I'm very emotional and very tired and should already be asleep. But this is just what I think about the whole Timothy Heller and Melanie Martinez situation. In case you're unfamiliar with it, trigger warning, by the way, this video talks about sexual assault, rape, and stuff, so yeah, be warned. But basically, Timothy Heller came out with a post saying that Melanie Martinez sexually assaulted her. She said how they've been friends for a really long time, and Melanie was just like super giving to Timothy, and Timothy felt that her life revolved around Melanie, and so she felt like very strongly for Melanie, like not in a weird way, but in a like, this person has helped me so much and they're like family to me and I love them. And she created a really strong bond with Melanie. And she states how, not word for word, I'm just kind of summarizing it, but she basically said how Melanie took advantage of that and basically got Timothy high one night and then proceeded to sexually assault her. Now, through my arguments, I've seemed more biased towards Melanie because I've made this statement that there needs to be a thorough investigation from the authorities, and that, like, best case scenario, they go to court and everything gets situated there. Because I feel like posting something on Twitter and then that's where it stops isn't going to do anything, People are really hating on Melanie right now, and a lot of people are hating on Timothy and calling her a liar. And I don't think that's the way that we should proceed with this situation. What I think should happen is that we stay neutral. We just pay attention to whatever happens. We wait for Melanie to release a statement. Hopefully she does. I really don't want her to just get all anxious and run away like she always does. I really want her to come out and actually make a statement, because this is not okay. Whether she's guilty or innocent, it's not okay. There definitely needs, but even if she does come out with a statement saying that that the accusations are false, it doesn't mean that people will believe her, which is why I think that the authorities should get involved by then. However, I do know that this happened a really long time ago, like a couple years ago, but it still needs to be investigated. And in the story, I'm not trying to like victim blame, but in the story, Timothy says how she let it happen. And that doesn't mean that Melanie was in the right whatsoever, because Timothy did not want to do it. Like, she did not want anything to happen. And she was saying how she has a boyfriend and she has work, she has to get up early, and she just wants to go to sleep. And those are clear signs that that the person does not want to mess with you right now. It's obvious telltale signs that, hey, don't fuck with me. I don't want to deal with you. But Melanie kept persisting, and this is just, in the post. Like, Melanie kept persisting, and then finally, Timothy was like, whatever, I'm going to sleep, and then Melanie proceeded to touch her, and Timothy didn't really know what to do, so she kind of just laid there, which is completely understandable, because she was probably in shock, and just, she states how she wanted it to just, like, she thought it would just be over if she just did it, like, if she not did it, but, like, if she just, kind of ignored it, then she thought that Melanie would eventually just stop and leave her alone. However, she didn't. And it's such a heavy topic, but I definitely do not want Timothy to be ignored. I want her side to be heard and shared and expressed throughout everywhere, but I also want Melanie's side to be heard, if she even has a side. I don't know how you have a side to that. It's either one way or it's not, It can't just be, well, see, what happened was, but, because it doesn't fly. So I feel like this is where the authorities should come in. Also saying that, oh, it was years ago is like saying that Timothy shouldn't have come out, because what does she expect to gain from it? You know? Because you don't just come out with a story and that's it. You know? She obviously wants justice for herself, which is perfectly reasonable, you know? But justice is not sharing it on social media and then getting a poor you sad face and then people forget about it. What she needs to do is go and tell, like, actual authorities or something and be like, this is what happened, and then get Melanie involved in like some sort of court case, and then they go to court and it gets situated, and then we can actually find out whether Melanie is guilty or not. And I'm not just saying this because of the whole, like, then, oh, Melanie's innocent, ha, you know, like, I definitely don't want that to happen. But because if Melanie is proven to be guilty, then she will most likely get a sentence or some sort of form of punishment for this happening. Or the law will do what the law does and just completely be like, it happened years ago, just let it go, you know? However, it still gives that possibility that Timothy can get the justice that she deserves, or like get the, like she can be avenged, I guess. So like, she, you know, yeah, she can get the justice she deserves, and she doesn't have to, she can rest knowing that the person who hurt her, had to pay for what they did. You know, but then on the other side, it's like, then we could really see if Melanie is guilty or not, instead of just jumping to conclusions and completely ruining her life, you know? And then it would play so much more smoothly, but it's also at the same time unrealistic, because I do understand that authorities are very icky whenever it comes to this stuff, and they honestly don't care, but doing nothing at all, like, okay, so posting something on Twitter and then people being like, oh, that's sad, is basically the same as doing nothing at all. You know, like not saying anything at all. The only really thing I can think of that can gain from it is that people stop paying attention to Melanie for a couple of months until she comes out with her new album. You know, because literally, like with the whole accusation of men, all they've done is fired them. They just fired them. They'll probably find work in a couple of months or so. Some men haven't even gotten fired for what they did to women. You know, so it's like, unless we can take legal action, what else is there to do? You know, and the only positive thing I can think of is like inspiring other women to step forward before it's too late. And I think that's really important also. So she definitely should not delete the post at all. But I can't even remember what I'm talking about at this point. I'm so tired, but I feel like people need to stop fighting about it until more information is released. I'm sorry if this doesn't make any sense, or like if it's wrong, because I'm just going based on what makes more sense in a logical way. And I just don't think that we should jump the gun, you know? It's like, how would you feel if you didn't do something and people just kept saying you were, but no one was willing to listen, you know? And if Melanie actually did sexually assault Timothy, then we would have some form of, like, evidence, you know? And then we could actually say, you were wrong, and we could drop her. You know, we can just completely just get rid of her. But other than that, I don't really know what to think of the situation. I've been on the verge of tears since I've read it. I've been one of the people who've been fighting with other people, like, but I'm not on any side. I just think that there needs to be some sort of actual legal action or something that can actually help Timothy, or, you know, prove whether or not Melanie is innocent. And that's where I stand on things. I probably won't be able to listen to Melanie's music for a really long time until it's, like, settled down, and I'll probably just avoid everything to do with it. Like, I'll keep tabs to make sure that, to like, see what's happening, but other than that, I won't listen to her music, and I won't wear her merch, or her posters. Like, God, I can't even process what this means. You know, I have school tomorrow. I also feel like I'm not educated enough to talk about this subject, but I feel like we all need to calm down a little. And definitely stop attacking Timothy and stop attacking Melanie. Just stop attacking either of them until we know for sure what's going on. Okay? And just send love to Timothy, because it's obvious that she's going through something right now. And all she really needs is just some love. And for once, I don't think I've ever said this, but Melanie can stand for herself. She can take care of herself. You know, she needs to woman up and stop hiding behind her anxious little self. You know, and she needs to just stop being silent, because it's not okay. And she needs to hurry up and come and say something and just do something and not just sit there and let it all happen. You know? Because it can make her look bad, but it's also just like, it makes her look bad, you know? It makes her seem like she doesn't care and everything. And honestly, if her management or whatever comes out with this statement, then I'm not gonna freaking believe it. Does she even have management? I don't know. But, like, if anyone other than her comes out and says anything, then I'm not gonna freaking listen. Because Timothy was responsible enough and had enough integrity to step forward herself. And Melanie needs to do the same. She needs to stop being a little girl, and she needs to start being a woman, and she needs to start taking responsibility for her actions, whether they're real or not. And I'm like switching sides so much, and my point of view is so confusing, but it's because it's just, these topics are so hard for me to talk about, and I've almost passed out twice because of this entire thing. And it's just like, it angers me, honestly, because whether, like I've said, whether Melanie is innocent or not, she needs to freaking step forward and say something, you know? And if she is guilty, then we need to freaking have justice for Timothy. You know, we need to punish Melanie somehow. And if Melanie didn't do it, then I don't know what to say, because I'm trying to make this not seem really bad, because I feel bad for both of them. I'll be honest. I'm not on any side, because I feel bad for both of them, because it's just, it would be such a hard thing to have to go through for either of these. I'm gonna go. I'm sorry. I'm probably gonna delete this later, but share your thoughts and everything, you know. I'm sorry if this didn't make any sense. I gotta go. I'm sorry.